Welcome to my latest vlog on the 3D print farm. Because it's a Yorkshire print farm, I thought, why not show you a bit of Yorkshire, just to start with. We've got a bit of a problem that we need solving. I acquired some electrical trunking last week, and we're missing a component that we really could do with having to complete the next stage of what we want to do with it. Could go out and buy a component, but I thought it might make an interesting video to design and print one. The geese are very noisy on the canal today. So here's just a selection of some of the trunking that we acquired at auction the other day. Got lots and lots of components. There's even more upstairs that we've got. But in order to do the job that we need it for, we're just missing one component. Because it's just a bit of ad hoc trunking, we'd have to source a supplier for this one component and obviously pay a delivery charge on it, etc. So it might become quite expensive. And obviously we've got 3D printers, so I thought, why not, take a stab at designing one, show you how it's done, and see if we can come up with a product at the end. So the end aim is to install some new electrical trunking in a 3D print room, because at the moment it's just got like a temporary light dangling and it's not very good. Ideally we're looking at designing a component that looks similar to this, which basically fixes the trunking onto the wall. So it'll connect through to the trunking and then screw directly onto the wall to keep it in position. The main trunking will be held on the beams, and we've got various other fittings that will suffice for that. It's just this particular item that we could do with doing. As I say, it will be easy to reproduce in 3D printing, so I thought it'd be a good example to show. So this is a cross section of the trunking itself. As you can see, it's got two holes there as well on the side, so we may be able to utilise them to fix through the trunking at the same time. So we're going to have to take some measurements of this particular item and feed them into the CAD program, etc.
So I'm just going to draw on a piece of paper one thing we need for this 3D printed product. So here, this is the trunking. Like that, which has a cross section like this. I think we need a 3D printed product that basically looks similar to this. Could do some holes in the side of here to be able to screw through, and also on this trunking it has two holes either side of the trunking, which we may be able to utilise, maybe putting a hole through the actual 3D printed product, possibly recessing this area so you can get to put a nut in, etc., to fasten it securely. But I'll take a look at that once we're in CAD. As for the dimensions we obviously need this inside measurement and this inside measurement, and also maybe the depth of this hole, and also the depth of how long or how deep we want the fixing to go into the trunking channel. So we'll go ahead and get some measurements out. So I'll get some measurements for the trunking itself. Got my calipers, 3D printers, best friend. So let's get the inside measurement, which is coming out at, call that 49mm. So I want a little bit of clearance. Take this measurement, which is, let's say, 47 millimeters. Just noticed a little thing on this particular item. You see from the video, it has got like rounded corners, which we'll have to take that into account once it goes into CAD. So I'll just write a note, rounded corners on there. Here's a measurement we could do with getting is the diameter of this hole, which again, call it 7.6 millimeters. And also we could do with the edge to center, which in this instance we'll say 16.7. Realistically, I want to make sure it goes in fair away. So I'd say we want it to be maybe a depth of about 40mm. So I mean, this is just a very, bog standard sketch with dimensions. That's all you need, really. It's not the neatest 3D drawing. I have got a degree in architecture, believe it or not, but still, jot down a basic 3D drawing, get your dimensions, and then from the sheet we can go to the CAD and get that inputted.
So here we are in Autodesk Fusion. The first thing I tend to do is save the file. So it's good practice to do that to start with. Then the next thing I go to is change parameters. So in this instance I'll add a new parameter, which is taken from our sketch. In this case it's trunking width, and it's 49mm. So now we're going to add a second parameter for the trunking height. It's always best to get all these parameters in first, then you can use them throughout your CAD sketching. So again, another one, hole diameter. That's 7.6 mil. Again, corresponds with the sketch we did earlier. This parameters the hole to center from the edge of the trunking. And again, another parameter, this time for trunking depth, which we had on this diagram at 40mm. So we'll click OK on that.
And then we're going to create a new sketch. Then we select the plane that we want to sketch on. So now I'm just going to set out a square, and here I'm typing in the name of the parameter, so trunking width, and the other parameter will be trunking height. Just gonna dimension this line here, so drag it out, put trunking height. So I'm just going to create another line. This is going to be a construction center line. So this center line will be used for mirroring. So now we're going to create the side panels where the screws go into. I'm just going to take that construction line off. So again, just draw it out. We can dimension it up in a minute. So now go to sketch create dimensions. I think this we set at 20 mil, is it? I think. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mirror this on that center construction line. So what you do is you select your lines that you want to mirror, and then select your mirror line, and it'll transpose it across. So now I'm going to create another center line across the middle, just so we can create these holes. And a center line down. Then I'm going to select the circle tool, create a circle. We didn't take a dimension for this on our sketch, but we'll just set this at 7 millimeters. Oh, sorry, 6 millimeters. So again, mirror this hole across to the other side. Saves having to draw it twice. So that's it for the sketch for now. Finish the sketch, and then we'll go to the extrude function. It's just me trying to find it. So, yeah, so going to select the parts that we want to extrude. We're actually going to extrude these down by 5 millimeters. There's a reason why I'm extruding it down, because I do want to go up with another section. So for some reason it always turns the sketch off, so I'm just going to turn it back on again. Now we'll go to the extrude command again, select the four elements that we want to raise up. So I'm going to extrude that out, and this is going to be set to the trunk depth, which is 40 millimeters. So I'm just going to round these corners off now, just to make it look a bit nicer. So selected the fillet command, I'm going to rotate the model so we can select all 4 corners, and then we're going to fillet it. Set that at 5 millimeters for these outside fillets.
I was going to fillet these in these corners that go inside the trunking. When I mentioned it was rounded in the trunking, this is what we're going to do to accommodate for that. So I'm going to set these again. I think it's, well, set these at 4mm. That should be enough for this particular model. So now we've got this basic shape. Now we need to create the holes that go through the side. So I'm going to create a new sketch. I'm going to select the face of what I want the sketch to be on. Now what you have to do, you have to click P for project. So you want to project your lines and your body so you can use them as a reference to then be able to find your centre lines, etc. for your screw holes. So as you can see, it's picking up the centre line on this. So that's just a centre construction line. So I've got to press project again, P, because it's not picked up that line. I can't reference the centre of it, so I'm just going to select it again. Keep pressing the wrong button, sorry. So now it's picked up the centre line. So change that to a construction line again. So I'm going to create a circle on that line. Oh, sorry, I created a point on that line. And I'm going to sketch I'm going to set the dimension of that. And then from that point, I'm going to draw a circle. Which I've set to 7.6, is it? So now I'm going to extrude that circle through the full body of the component. So that's the majority of the component done. Now we just got to shell it out slightly. Take into account being able to get access to the nuts on the inside. So I'm going to go back to the original sketch. As you can see, I'm setting a 5mm shell. I'm going to go back to the original extrude because it's just the easy way to do it. And what I'm doing is I'm going to deselect the middle square so that
portion of the item is not extruded. And then the next part I'm going to go back into the sketch again. I'm just filling the top of this. Put a bit of a chamfer on just to make it go into the trunking easy. Then I'm just going to go back to that original sketch again and just put a fillet on the inside. So you can see, select all four corners and then put fillet on. I've left it at 5mm. Can't remember what size fillet I put on that, but so there we have it. Components done. Going to go to File and Export now in a second. So just make sure you save it. Go to File, Export. Make sure you select STL. And then save it in the location that you need. So now here we are in Bambu Studio. I'm going to import the model. Just going to find the model where I saved it. So there it is. Just going to sync it to the printer. So we've got the correct material. In this case it's PLA basic. Just changing the wall loops to 3. Seam position to the back. Change it from grid to gyroid because that seems to print better. I'm just going to click slice print now. As you can see, 1 hour 15 minutes on this particular item. So now I'm going to press print, select the printer that we need, click send, and then it is going straight up to the printer. So it's just uploading it now. I think I'm just about to press play on the printer's camera, so that's why it shows me in real time. That's the view of where the printer is. Apologies for the complete mess.
It says it'll take approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes, so we'll come back to it a bit later on and also at the end when it's finished. So it's getting further into the print now. Again, with this printer, no problems at all. Everything tends to come out perfect. Well, so the printer's finished. I just didn't manage to catch the end of it because I had some other things to do, but let's get this off the build plate. Again, another clean print. Should be okay. We'll go and see if it fits. So I did decide to print a grey version out, just so it doesn't stand out as much when it's mounted on the wall. So we better get this mounted. So there we have it. There's it mounted to the wall. Just put a couple of cavity fixings in, as this is just a plasterboard wall. Now we'll just get the trunking mounted to it. So there's the product with the trunking installed. As you can see, it does its job. I'll put some bolts in later off camera when we know this is going to be its final position. So I hope you liked the video. Hopefully it shows you how simple it is to go from idea to reality. This with printing took maybe 3 to 4 hours in total, combined with filming and messing about, etc. So you know, if you want to see more videos like this, you know, please like and subscribe, etc. Comment below if there's anything particularly you want designing, or even if you've got a product that you need a fix for, then send us a message. Okay, see you on the next one.